Hello, welcome. Today we're going to talk about this beautiful 2017 Nissan 370Z Sport that we have for sale. One fantastic sports car. I'm a big fan of the Nissan Z. I actually spent over 20 years at Infiniti and Nissan retailers. Infiniti is Nissan's luxury division, and for a long time a lot of Infiniti's products used the underpinnings, the same platform that the Z was built on a lot of their other vehicles like the FX series, the G35, the Q50. I could go on and on. And the cool thing about the Z, if you do value Japanese brands because of the Japanese build quality, well, unfortunately, not a lot of Japanese brands are made in Japan anymore, but the Z is one of the few vehicles in Nissan's product line that's still built and assembled in Japan. If you're ever curious, just look at the VIN number on a Japanese car, and if it begins with a J, that means it was built in Japan. These things are rock solid reliable. You have the award-winning VQ engine, 3.7 liter naturally aspirated V6 pumping out a little over 330 horsepower, making this thing quick, very fun to drive. It has a fantastic 6-speed manual transmission. The Z is a true sports car, front engine, rear wheel drive, 2-seaters, and of course you can get it with an automatic, but to do a car like this justice, it's so much more fun with a manual gearbox. This is a beautiful example. It's raining outside. Usually I like to do these videos outside, but we got a nice photo studio, so I'll start it for a couple seconds. I don't want to gas myself. This one only has 13,000 miles on it, and man, that VQ engine sounds nice through the lower restriction exhaust system. I wish I could take you for a spin and take it for a drive, but maybe you can do that on your own. Nice, comfortable, supportive bucket seats. It's a 2-seater. It's a small car, but a lot of space. I'm 6'2". I have a ton of headroom, ton of legroom back here. Very comfortable place to be. The Sport is very nicely appointed with features. You have this nice contrast stitching throughout the interior. Nice leather wrapped steering wheel. Very down to business interior, but the ergonomics of it, it's very well designed, very well laid out. You have these gauges on the center console as well. Very straightforward and so much fun to drive. This thing's in beautiful shape with only 15,000 miles. Lovely color combination on black on black. The Z has recently been redesigned, but there are some reasons why I would prefer having an older Z like this versus a newer one. And as much as the new Z looks different, it actually uses a lot of the same underpinnings, a lot of the same platform components as the older Z. So even though the new Z looks a lot different, you could almost call it a refresh. It's not a complete ground-up redesign, which it might appear to be at first glance. Like if you look at the subframe components and stuff like that, on the new Z, a lot of it could directly bolt on to one of these older Zs. But one of the reasons why I prefer the older Z is a naturally aspirated 3.7 liter V6. It might not make as much horsepower, might not be as fancy as a new VR30 twin turbo V6, pumping out 400 horsepower, but from a longevity standpoint, you know, when you have forced induction, it adds complexity to the engine, and it also can put more stress on the engine. You're having forced induction to generate more horsepower out of a smaller engine, so it's going to put more stress in the engine. And I don't work at Infiniti anymore, so I guess they can't get mad at me, but we use that same VR30 engine from 2016 all the way to the end of the product line. 2024 is the last year of the Q50. So from 16 to 2024 on the Q50, and then on the redesigned Q60, we also use that V30 engine. I can tell you, I saw a lot of those turbos getting replaced under warranty. And unfortunately, when the warranty is out, it can be very expensive to replace those turbos. Supposedly, you know, with the newer versions of the engines, supposedly Nissan and Infiniti worked out the kinks on the turbos. You know, time will tell. But it was concerning to me to see the amount of turbos that were getting replaced and how expensive they are when they are out of warranty. It would be, you know, $10,000 to get turbos replaced on that engine. And then if the turbos go bad, a lot of times what they would do is that they'd pull the oil pan on those engines that needed the turbos replaced just to check to see if there's filings in the oil pan. And if that was the case, the whole engine needs to be replaced. So the turbos go bad. If you keep on driving them with bad turbos, that could ruin the whole engine. But, you know, not to fearmonger, you know, like I said, Nissan and Infiniti is pretty sure with the newer versions of that VR30 engine that they fix the turbo issues. But, you know, if I was going to buy a used vehicle and I was going to keep it past, you know, up to 100,000 miles or past 100,000 miles out of warranty, I'd have a little bit more peace of mind of having this naturally aspirated 3.7 liter V6. These 3.7s are rock solid motors. I had one in my FX37, and I've seen plenty of examples, variations of this engine with 200, and some variations with close to 300,000 miles still running strong. This is a very well built vehicle. If you want a sports car that looks good and is fun to drive, but you want it to stand the test of time and you want great reliability, check out a 370Z with this 3.7 liter V6. It is a fantastic powertrain. It's a fantastic vehicle. Thanks for taking the time today to watch this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.